I am so excited to make this video today. It's a new month, I have new goals, and I'm doing a complete new way of budgeting that I'm trying to set up this month so it'll be ready to start in November. I've been watching everybody's videos and taking little pieces from this one and that one because I'm new to budgeting, and so I wanted to kind of perfect my budgeting system a little bit better so that I can make more progress on my debt journey. So during the month of October, I'm going to show you my goals and my new budgeting system that I plan on implementing, and so that in November it'll be completely ready to go. I know a lot of people like the cash envelope stuffing videos, and I like seeing those too, but maybe I'm just a nerd, but I love a goal video and I love having a new set of goals. So today's video is going to be all about my goals, all about my new budget system, and the things I'm doing to help me get on all this debt taken care of on my debt-free journey. So let's just go ahead and get started because I'm too excited to wait, and let's jump right into the mental challenge. This week's mental challenge is with an experiment done by Professor Hilke Plasseman. What she did was she took a group of people. She had a theory and she wanted to prove it and went about kind of a weird way of doing it. She took these people and she put them in an MRI machine. She then put a dial in each of their hands. Then she put a tube in their mouth. And then, this is where it gets kind of crazy, she had them in the MRI machine and she had them laying there. She would then tell them a price of a bottle of wine. She would say, oh, this bottle of wine's $17. And then she would use the tube and squirt the wine in their mouth. They would then use the dial in their hand to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much enjoyment, pleasure, how much they like the wine, and they would have to rate it. So then after they rated it, she would give them, through that same tube, a drink of water to kind of neutralize the taste of the previous wine. And then she would repeat the process again with another price of a bottle of wine. Sometimes it would be a higher price bottle of wine, sometimes it would be lower. She tried to make sure that she didn't go in a certain order and everything, but she always told them the price of the wine and then would let them try it, and then they had to rate it. What she found was what she expected to find, that the higher priced bottles of wine did rank higher. People enjoyed them more. So that made sense. But what was really unique about this is that she had lied to them. She tested the same bottle of wine several times. So this bottle of wine might have a price tag, she might have told them, of $17. Then later she might have gave the same bottle of wine and said it was $45. Even though it's the same bottle of wine, they would rank the higher priced bottle in their mind. It was higher priced, higher. So this concept is known as confirmation bias. This is a concept that's studied in many different fields and studies. But the main thing here is that we're talking about finances. So how does this confirmation bias affect your finances? Well, there's one other part of this study that I thought was one of the most important parts. Not only did the people rank the same bottle of wine higher based on if they knew the price or not, but they also, the MRI showed that their prefrontal cortex actually lit up and showed more activity with the higher priced bottles of wine. Even if the same bottle of wine was one set at $17 and another later was set at $45, they had more activity with that same bottle of wine when it was $45. This shows us that this confirmation bias, we can't deny it. It's hardwired in us. So it's something that we really have to work hard to do, because it can affect our finances, because we could be spending more money for things we really don't need. We could be hearing other people's opinions and taking their opinion of something and spending more money on it. So the way researchers say that what we need to do to kind of fight through this confirmation bias is that we need to get as many different opinions before we make a purchase, before we spend money, as possible. Go to the sources you hate the most, or you can do what my husband does, and whenever you're going to research an item, you can research for, if you're looking for a vacuum cleaner, you can say vacuum cleaner cons or minuses or scam or, anything negative, to see what kind of results you can get from that, instead of just looking up the name of the vacuum cleaner and maybe just seeing the best results, or, asking someone and taking one person's opinion on it. Because just like with certain budgeting methods, I'm not going to say different names, but there's certain budgeting methods that if some person is a believer or follower of that budgeting method, they believe that's the best one, but it may not be the best one for you personally with your, mental feelings towards money or even your specific situation. So your mental challenge for this week is just to think about confirmation bias. Do you have a set of beliefs that is hard to fight, and that you just, if you hear somebody else say it, you just agree with it and it goes easier that way to do it? Challenge that and see if you can find any examples of yourself having confirmation bias in regards to your finances. I know it's something I'm going to have to work on, because I feel like I do this. To the physical challenge now, it's a pretty simple one. I thought it was interesting, and I've already been applying it in my own life, so I thought I would share it with you guys. Studies show that if you're going shopping, you will spend more money at the store if you look at your savings account before you go into the store. So if you look at your savings account before you go shopping and say you see that big number, or even just a decent number, you tend to spend more at the store. You tend to buy more things. So what I've started doing is the exact opposite. Before I go shopping, I look at my debt. If you don't have debt, maybe you could look at your savings goals or your financial goals, so you can see what you're kind of trying to save money on, or what your reason for not wanting to spend as much in a store. Definitely don't look at your savings account and all the progress you made there, because I guess it just triggers that, hey, I've got more money. So don't do that. Instead, for your physical challenge for this week, try to instead look at what your goals are and kind of imagine those and see if it helps you any with your money this week. Now, before we get onto my budget and my goals and my new plan, I do want to go ahead and do my giveaway really quick. I have all the names here of the people that entered, and I'm just going to pick out a name randomly. I'm not going to do anything fancy, but whoever it is, just comment below with how you want to be contacted, either email or Instagram, and then I will contact you and we'll go over the details of the specific wallet you want and where I can send it to. So I'm just going to pick one randomly out of here. It is Life and Money with Gab. I watch a lot of your videos, and I think you watch some of mine too, so I'm hopeful you will see this video and comment below and just tell me how you want us to be able to talk outside of YouTube, and we'll get everything worked out. Thanks so much and congratulations. Now I'm going to go ahead and get started with my budgeting and my goals for the month of October. Okay, now we're on to my October goals for the month. I spent a lot of time thinking about these. If you remember, in September, my word of the month was intentional, and I really tried to take that word to heart. I was struggling with sinking funds. I was struggling because I wasn't able to do my side hustle and bring in extra money. It was just a lot of internal thoughts I was having with this journey. Thankfully, though, since I took time to really think about being intentional with my money, I decided that this is indeed not a sprint. It is a marathon, and I've got to be okay with this process. So, for October, my word of the month is progress. I need to be focused on not only paying down my debt, but also building up those sinking funds so that I never have to turn to a credit card again. This is kind of a problem with my personality, that I just want to hurry and push through, and I want perfection immediately, and I don't want to have to stumble. And with this debt payoff journey, lots of times it is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Oh, I'm making great progress, but the car needs a repair, and I have to take money from sinking funds and then pause my debt payoff to build back up the sinking funds. This is something that I'm going to struggle with probably time and time again on this journey, but at least in the month of September, I realized it is a problem I have, and that in October, I'm focusing on progress no matter how small and no matter in what area. So my progress may not just be to the credit card snowball I'm working on. It may also be to just being proud of the fact that I'm saving money and putting money back in my sinking funds. And I really want to thank you guys, because watching your videos really helps me to come to these conclusions in my own life. So it's really helpful. So, word of the month progress. My first goal is 1,000 to capital one. This is a goal we're probably going to see every month until this credit card's paid off. Yes, I hope I get to pay more than 1,000 to the Capital One card, but I am not going to stress it, and I'm going to be very proud of myself if I get $1,000 paid to my Capital One card every month. My why is because I am tired of my income going to my past instead of securing my future. My action steps are: I'm going to budget. I'm going to make a payment as soon as I get the money. If in my budget I say, oh, $150 goes to Capital One this week, that money goes right away, because if not, I find that I use it for other things. If I am close to the end of the month and I don't have my $1,000, I will steal from my grocery budget if I need to. I don't think I will, but I give myself $200 a week. I could really do 1 week of $100 and make it work to get extra for that Capital One, but I think it'll be okay. So that's goal number one. Goal number two is pay off 25% of my total debt. I'm pretty close to this already, so paying this $1,000 will get me there. So yeah, this goal isn't extremely hardcore because it kind of does piggyback on this one, but I'm still going to celebrate it. This goes right along with my word of the month that I'm celebrating my progress. Paying off 25% of my total debt, seeing as I just started this plan in May, is something I need to be proud of. And that's exactly what my why is. The why for this goal is because milestones rock, and I'm ready to celebrate this win. You know, me and my husband have worked really hard to pay off this 25%. Instead of me feeling bad that I still have 75% left, or that I didn't pay off 26%, I need to be proud of myself and just celebrate that win. My action steps are exactly the same as for my Capital One goal, so I didn't even write them out because they are the same. My third goal, and this is going to be something you're going to see just in a minute whenever I'm talking about this new budget I'm working out, but my third goal is to get 1 month ahead of bills. My why is because I can better control and be more prepared. My action steps are to set up an account different from my checking account, deposit $3,000 into that account because $3,000 will cover my bills for the month, and then I'm going to set all my bills to be automatically withdrawn from that new account. I want this to be completed by the end of the month, and so in November my bills will start going out of this new account. It may not be perfect, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to show you why in just a minute when we look at my budget, but that is my third goal. My fourth goal is to start back to mystery shopping. If you watched my other videos, I had stopped my side hustle of mystery shopping because I was nervous with the coronavirus numbers so high in our area. It just was making me just have a lot of anxiety. So I said, no, I'm just going to do the Kroger click list. But I spend so much more money doing that Kroger click list instead of using cash and actually going into the store. And plus I miss the extra income. This is how I pay extra towards my debt, is my mystery shopping. So my why is because I desperately want to pay off more debt, just like anybody who has debt wants to do. My action steps are: I'm going to start back small, one store at a time. I'm going to follow the guidelines, of course, wearing a mask, staying 6 feet apart, and of course following the little arrows in the stores and being careful, sanitizing, all that. And then 3, I'm going to accept that there is a risk right now in our world, and that I've got to kind of work through that, even though that's a hard one for me. But there's risk in anything we do, and so I'm going to try to go slow and get there and feel better with that one. So these are my goals for the month of October. You will see me check in with you on these every week as to how I'm doing. So now we're just going to talk a little bit about my first goal, my 1,000 to Capital One. Okay, so in September, I brought my balance down to $6,056. By the end of October, I want my balance to be $5,056. That will be my $1,000 there. I really think I'll get there, and I'm not too worried about it and everything. So now I'm just going to flip over and show you another way I'm tracking my Capital One card. Of course, I have a debt tracker where I fill in my little, it's a little hexagons, octagons, I don't know, one of those. Each time I make a certain amount of a payment off. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably see me posting that. I post that kind of regularly on there. But I realized I needed other ways to track my progress, to feel good about this Capital One credit card, because you can see it's going to take me a while. I need other ways to stay motivated. So I decided to make some other trackers that meant something to me to help me in this journey. So my first tracker is just a chart with how many days. Start up 225 days and it goes down to 1. This is how many days I think it's going to take me to pay off that Capital One card. It's crazy, a lot of days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in another little brick in my little wall each day that passes. Because these days will pass regardless. No matter what. Well, I mean, of course, the inevitable could happen. I could die. But we won't go there. This is a happy video, not a sad one. So 225 days are going to pass in my life. I've had so many 225 days that have passed. But with this chart, I'm tracking that at the end of this, I will have paid off that Capital One card. Could I pay it off early? Sure. And I won't be disappointed that I don't get to color in on my bricks. I'll just be happy. But this is a way for me to say, hey, you're still getting closer to that goal every day. Every day you're moving forward and you're making progress slowly but surely. I'm taking it one step at a time or one little brick at a time. So this is a tracker I made to help. And then another tracker I made to help me is this one. This one's a hard one, but it's the interest that I have on this credit card. When I first started with this credit card, I had over $200 I was paying in interest every month. And by the time September came around and I decided to make this tracker, I had gotten the payments down where I was only paying, or I should say only, shouldn't say only because it's still a crazy amount of interest every month, but I got it down to $142 that month. In October, I just checked and it was at $131. So it's slow progress, but quitting won't make it won't make it any faster. So you can see 142 and I filled in the squares, so I'm down to 131. At the end of October, on October the 24th, I'll get a new statement and it'll tell me my interest then, and I'll fill it in. So I can come and look at this chart every time I think I'm not making any progress. I can see that not only am I reducing my balance, I'm also reducing the amount of interest I'm paying. And yes, I want this to be gone as quick as possible, but I'm still just going to focus on every step is progress. Every dollar is progress. So these are some ways I'm going to help myself focus on that goal and my word of the month. Now I'm going to move in real quick and show you my monthly budget for October. You can see that I have everything broke down. Our paydays are always on Monday, and I do the color coding system with my highlighters. So this week you can already see I have planned out what bills I'm going to pay in the blue. So there is that, and then we're going to go real quick to my budget for this week. Maybe not too quick. Okay, so my first week in October is September the 28th to October the 4th. My total amount of income will be my $1,600. This is mine and my husband's combined for 1 week. Our fixed expenses will be my electric bill for $265 and my car payment for $401. My total for my fixed expenses is $666. When I subtract that from my income, I'm left with $934. Then I go to my variable expenses. I have my allowance for me and my husband. We each get $100 for the entire month. I take it out of the first week
and then I don't fool with it again until the next month. So I'm taking that out for the variable expenses. Then my grocery budget is set at $200. My gas is $50. So for this week, my variable expenses is $450. Every other week it's just $250 because I don't have the allowance. So when I subtract that from my amount remaining, I get $484. Then I come down to my sinking funds. I am leaving my sinking funds at $335 each week. That is how much I'm going to put in the account. I may change and play around with what gets that $335, but I'm really going to try to leave this constant. I'm going to try not to change that anyway, just so I can learn to always be putting back money. Even when my debt is gone, I'm still putting back money. So when I subtract that $335 from what's remaining, I'm left with $149, and that's my debt snowball payment to my Capital One card. Now, if you remember, my goal is to pay $1,000. You can see that's not great for the first week. I'm not worried because I've already looked ahead, and I definitely think I can get that $1,000 from my other payments. So that is the budget for this week. Okay, I want to show you a little bit about how much I spent so far in this week. So far, for groceries, I've had to spend I did spend $45 on Amazon. This is my household things. This was laundry detergent. My laundry detergent I buy, it's $20 and it lasts me for 3 months. So I don't spend that every month or even every 2 months. It's every 3 months, $20 for laundry detergent. I did bar soap and hand soap. All three of these, the hand soap will last me for almost a year because I mix it and dilute it. So that will be a cost I won't have for probably another year. And then the bar soap probably not until next year. So this amount will last me probably until 2021. But I did do that. And then I spent $64 at Kroger on groceries. So I have $200 budgeted, so you can see I still have a decent amount left, and I'm good for the week. I'll probably make one more shopping trip, maybe Friday, and pick up some things, but I feel comfortable with that. My gas, you can see I'm already kind of close to my budget of $50 there, but I only spent $12 last week, so I'm not worried about that. If I need it, I can pull from last week and be okay there. And now let me just show you, before I show you my new budget, I just want to show you my weekly, what all I've spent so far, the breakdown of it, just so you can see that. Oh. So this is my transaction log. I usually don't show this, but I see other people showing theirs, and I like to see theirs, so I thought you guys might want to see mine, just to see that I really do budget my money, and I'm not just lying. I do write down the expenses and bills. Payday. Our income was $1,600. It's already cleared my account. Card payment has not cleared my account, but I've paid it. It's just still waiting to go through. My electric bill actually ended up being $249. It's already been paid. I've already transferred my sinking funds. I keep mine all electronically in Ally Bank. I do that because I get interest, and so I keep it there. Capital One snowball payment, I've already made that. You can see my laundry detergent, actually with the tax, ends up being $25. The liquid hand soap was $11. My bar soap was, I think it was like 10 bars or something for $8. And then my cash withdrawal for the rest of my grocery money and my personal money for the allowance was $340. And so after all these transactions, you can see that I'm left with $96 in the account. My checking account is linked to 2 other accounts. I think I'm going to show you all the different accounts a little bit later on in another video, but I don't worry about the balance getting low, because if there's ever something that comes out that I wasn't expecting, it just pulls from them. I never have to worry about an overdraft fee or anything like that. So that is what this week looks like. Now I'm going to show you what I'm so excited about. It's going to be my new budget that I'm going to be working on. This is going right along with my goal number 3. So this is the way I'm going to start setting my budget. By the end of October, I want that checking account with $3,000 in it. Then every week, I'm not even going to pay attention to the bills. On week 1, you're just going to see me say $700 goes into that account. I'm going to do an automatic transfer from my checking account to my bill paying account of $700. $700 more than covers my bills every week. So then I won't track that. I'll have a tracking page in my budget journal that I check off what bills are paid just to make for sure it's good, but I'm going to let that extra accumulate. The reason why I want to do this is because I'm tired of worrying about when's that bill going to clear. It hasn't cleared yet. The money's still sitting in my account, and it just is stressing me out. And so I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to worry about anything, spending this extra money. Is kind of a safety net for me. The money is already gone and allocated to my bills in that account. When extra accumulates there, I may use it for an unbudgeted expense that comes up, but for right now, I'm just going to let that extra money kind of increase. Once we start with this plan, I'll show you guys as the bills clear and see how that balance is changing. But for right now, every week $700 will come out of my account and go to the checking account. Then I'll do an automatic transfer of my $335 for sinking funds every week. Every week I'm going to put $265 to debt, and then every week I'm going to take out $300 variable. The reason why this is going to be so different is because I'm having set percentages every week. My budget will never change. So I don't know if this is really called a budget by paycheck anymore. It's definitely going to be a zero-based budget because I'm going to take my account pretty much down to zero. Like I said, I do have my account linked to my savings account and even my business account, but it'll pretty much go close to zero about every week. And then you can see that my bills will be 44% of my income is going to be going to bills every week. Every week I'm going to be putting 21% into savings. Every week I'm going to do 16% to my debt snowball. This is not including my minimum payments on my other debts. And then 19% of my income is going to variable. So my total debt, my total like minimum payments and my snowball will be 37% of my income. So you can see what the breakdown is. And this is what I'm hoping to stick with because I think this will make everything be more predictable. It'll let me see clearly where my money is going, and it'll take some of the stress and pressure off me of juggling. Where should I put this and where should I put that? Now, it may not work. It may totally fail. And in December, I may be like, that sucks. I'm not doing it anymore. But I'm going to try it. And I'm going to see how it goes and see if it helps me mentally feel better about the progress I'm making and quit stressing so much over my budget and my bills. So I know this video has went long, and thank you if you're still hanging around and watching the rest of it. I appreciate it. I hope you guys can give me some feedback on what you think are the pros and cons of my new budget plan. And if you think there's no way this is going to work, let me know. I have learned so much from you guys. I want to continue to learn. So please give me all your criticism that why this will just not work, or if you think it really will work and if it will help me. I will see you in my next video next Wednesday, and I hope to be able to give you good results on my goals so far, and I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you so much.